First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building businesses that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante Davis.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
Oh, snap! Look who it is. It's your only guy, the only one who never lets you down. Your favorite from the 3-Man Weave podcast, AJ. And we shaking it up a little bit today. We got a blue cup. So we're going to see how that go. See what that brings. See if it bring me any luck tonight. So welcome to the 3-Man Weave podcast. You can catch us on all major podcast platforms. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at 3-Man Weave Podcast. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and then also hit that bell so you can get all the notifications for all our new content that we drop on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. Join our Facebook group, 3-Man Weave Podcast on Facebook. Keep you up to date on all your latest sports news. You get a whole bunch of trash talk. You might get some funny memes in there. And we do some music discussions, all of that. We do everything in there, man. So make sure you join that Facebook group community, man. We have tons of fun. And also, make sure you become a part of our 4 minutes with the fours. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Send us your questions. Or you could DM us, like I said, on Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. Or if you post something fire in the Facebook group, most likely it's going to end up on this show here, and we're going to discuss it. But without further ado, I'm the only one who showed up to work today. I'm the only one who never lets y'all down. But yet y'all seem to treat me the worst. But it's cool, though. It's cool because now you stuck with me. I'm all you got. A little more lip. Hey, we about to have some fun, though. We had a lot of happenings in sports this week. So Hill and Cannon, they missing out because it's about to be some fun stuff to talk about. So the fours, I'm going to need y'all help. We're going to have a lot of fun in these comments today. But I'm going to start with the fight of the year, what everybody was waiting on, the most anticipated. Ryan Garcia versus Javante Tank Davis. And we've been wanting a fight of this caliber for quite some time, especially out of this division, because this division is trying to take over from what was the welterweight division as the glamour division with all the top talent. You got Tank, you got Javante, you got Shakur, you got Devin Haney, you got Lomachenko, you got some up-and-coming guys that, we've mentioned in the group, like Keyshawn Davis. You got some guys that, have some skill, like Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Frank Martin is on the up-and-coming. But we got the fight that we wanted. Tank and Garcia. And I think this was a fight to set off a chain of events because although, yes, Tank is the number one best guy in that division, and Garcia, I wouldn't consider him as the number 2 in that division. I'd probably put him behind guys like Devin Haney, I might put him on par with Shakur Stevenson. I don't think he's as good as Lomachenko, but Lomachenko's older. But he's also arguably the most popular. That's a debate that you can have between him and Tank. But I would actually give Garcia the more popular in that category, but Tank is just the better fighter. I think Ryan Garcia crossed over multiple lines to be able to build his fan base, and he's been building, up a great social media following for quite some time. And so that is what set the tone for a great fight. And our guy Junior Evard, the GOAT, he said colorism. But honestly, that's what sells boxing. And that's one of the things that I believe that set this fight off. It wasn't just that you got two great fighters. It wasn't that you just got two popular fighters. Boxing is built on race. If you look at some of the best boxing matches, it's one race versus another. Having, Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia, you're pitting two, ethnic groups against each other. You look at Floyd Mayweather versus Ricky Hatton. You look at Floyd Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya. You look at Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. You look at Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And so that is one of the reasons why I said this was the best matchup to set off this 135 butterfly effect, because now it has people interested. It has people wanting to dig in and say, okay, Tank beat Ryan Garcia. Maybe he really is that guy, because one of the big question marks for Tank and Ryan Garcia, and quite honestly, all the top guys that I've named in Garcia, Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Tank, was their resume. And this is something that's going to pit two of the most popular guys together. It's going to be the biggest draw, because I don't believe alone Tank Davis is a pay-per-view fighter, regardless of how popular you think he is. And even though Ryan Garcia is even more popular, I don't think he could have got someone who can rival his popularity into the ring to make it a pay-per-view fight. But when you put these two together, it becomes a glamour matchup, and it becomes a pay-per-view fight, and it becomes something that everyone wants to see. It becomes appointment television, and that's what boxing has been lacking for quite some time, because you got two big personalities who can sell the fight, two big followings, two big fan bases, and guess what? Two people of different races. And if you look, I guarantee you, when you go to your neighborhood bar, depending on the neighborhood and the demographics, you can tell where you at and who's going for who. And so that gets me into the fight. Let's go ahead and break down the fight. Round one, always round one in boxing matches, I never, like, when it comes to the scorecards, I just always say, just try and do what you can to outpoint your opponent in round one, while also feeling your opponent out. Pause. Because round one in boxing matches, unless you got one of the, true Mexican fighters who's going to come out and apply pressure, most boxers are going to come out, find their distance, just, paw with a jab a little bit, and just see what they can do, see if they can find some range, and see if they can catch you making a mistake. And then, you might try and put a little pressure just to kind of see what you can do, what you can get away with. And so round one, it was like, okay, that's what we expected. That's what I expected out of round one. Round two, I thought we were going to get a little bit more of a filling out process as well. But I think Ryan Garcia was in a position where he felt like, hey, I think I can time some stuff up. I think I can, use my height, but also use kind of my speed to try and get an advantage in the early rounds and win some early rounds. And so he did. And coming into the fight, like I said, Ryan Garcia could actually make this a good fight if he doesn't make a mistake like Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz came in, thought, you know what, I can get in here, brawl, make it a little bit ugly, and, see if I can, get in between his guard and make something happen. Ryan Garcia felt like, okay, let me see if I could, try and put the pressure in, get a little bit of action, make him uncomfortable. And he made a mistake. He made a mistake. And Tank, he was composed. He picked his spot, threw it right on the button. Power and accuracy is very dangerous. And that's what he did. And he caught Ryan Garcia, dropped him, and he let him, feel his power and what he could do. And I give props to Ryan Garcia for getting up from that shot, because that shows, like I said, that shows a good chin. And we've seen Ryan Garcia hit the deck before off a clean punch, very similar, and he got up. But now he stepped up in competition and he still got up. So that was something that I was actually impressed with early on, but I wanted to see how he would respond. If he would still say, okay, I felt your power, but I'm still going to press the issue. And unfortunately, he didn't. Tank, he was still ready to counter. So if you're actually watching the fight, and, not saying this, in a disrespectful manner, but if you're a casual boxing fan and you're watching the fight and you see Ryan Garcia still walking him down, cutting the ring off, and Tank kind of, going up against the ropes, backing up, it may look like, okay, Ryan Garcia is still confident and he's still walking Tank down and he's still trying to control the fight. That wasn't it. He was just trying to stay in front of Tank and still make it a fight, but he became a lot more cautious. And you can see he wasn't sitting down on his punches as Ryan Garcia normally does. He wasn't as free-flowing with his punches as he normally is, and he really just started trying to rely on that left hook, because that was really all he knew to try and be an equalizer. And as the rounds went on, around the fifth round, you could see Tank, he started going to the body, and as he's going to the body, Ryan Garcia is making an effort to not let his hands drop, because Ryan Garcia, say what you want, Ryan Garcia is a smart fighter, and he's not trying to let his hands drop, because what's going to come, and you do not want to get put to sleep because you done dropped your hands and he done countered your left hook and hit the eject button on your chin. And so he's doing what he can, and he's starting to get on the inside, because fighting from distance isn't really working for him. He's fighting from distance. He's, roughing things up. He's clinching, and he got careless, and he got caught with another perfect shot right to the ribs. And as you guys know, Hill and I have always had this debate about body shots and pride. Hill always said, hey, I'm not getting knocked out by no body shot. And I keep trying to tell him it's different. It's different when somebody catch you flush to the body. And I know some people say, oh, it looked like Ryan Garcia gave up and, he could have gotten up because after the count was finished, he got up. Yes, after the count was finished, he got up. But he got up and didn't have to fight no more. It's very hard to protect yourself and you can't breathe. It's very hard to protect yourself and you don't want to lift your hands up above your chest. And I don't know how many of you all out there have broken your ribs, bruised your ribs, or had a back injury. But your ribs and your back, you use it for everything, every second of your day. Unless you are laying flat, your back is involved in everything. Your ribs, everything you use your ribs for. Breathing. So imagine taking a shot like that to the ribs, and you got to fight. It's borderline impossible. And our guy Hill, he joined in the comments. He said he knew his chin was weak. And I'm not sure if you caught this, Hill, but I don't know if I'll say his chin was weak. But like I said before, he got caught making a mistake and he got careless. A lot of people are gonna drop from that punch. It's not necessarily weak, it's called being careless. And if his chin was weak, something like that, I don't think he's getting up from. Especially the way he fell. He was, his body, it just gave up. The arms went limp and everything. But he fought through it, got up. And so I don't know, like I said, it's just all about picking your spots. And he picked his spots at the wrong time. And it's a difference when we talk about that step up in competition. Gervonta, he met that challenge. Ryan Garcia, he wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready. The lights were a little bit too big and the skill was a little bit too great. And at the end of the day, we did get entertaining fight and we did get an entertaining lead up to the fight. And like I told Hill and Cannon, it feels good to see a top anticipated fight where the loser ain't really copping pleas in the press conference. Isn't saying, oh, I broke my hand. Oh, I got a thumb. I caught a thumb and I really couldn't see. Or in the words of, Hill's favorite boxer ever, I beat that boy. So at least I got to give him some respect there. Like, hey, bro, you didn't cop no pleas. You took your L. You took it on the chin, literally and figuratively. But we've also had some crazy news drop. Aaron Rodgers, man. He finally got his wish. New York Jets fans, they finally got a quarterback since Joe Namath. And I finally got a co-host. Oh, would you look at that?
I missed the boxing.
I literally just
No.
Literally, like look at the last comment. I literally just started talking about Aaron Rodgers. But do you have anything you want to? Well, I know you have some things you want to say about the fight, but go ahead, give the people what they want, man. Talk about the fight, man, and just give them your overview.
First of all, man, I want to give both fighters credit for bringing something back to the sport that has been missing, and that's top dogs going after top dogs. It seems for maybe the past 4 or 5 years in boxing, we've just seen a run on everyone wanting to remain undefeated, and that's led to a lot of dodging and ducking, and ultimately, to me, it has hurt the sport. So, of course, we've been waiting for a mega fight, something that can remind us of a Corrales, Castillo, people fighting in their prime, not avoiding people. And of course, the fight didn't live up to the Corrales Castillo, but I like the fact that they weren't afraid to make the fight. Tank is 28, Ryan is 24. They made the deal. They both are still very young fighters. And I think they both showed up to the best of their ability.
Absolutely.
And so, people are a lot of people have been knocking Ryan, but I think that Ryan did everything that was in his power.
Absolutely.
That's the most, even though Tank looked phenomenal, that's the most flustered that we've seen him. That along with Pitbull, Isaac Cruz.
Yep.
What I will say about that fight is Isaac Cruz took that fight with 2 weeks. So when people see Tank's performance about that, when I say, oh, Pitbull if Tank literally had
like his normal camp to prepare,
I'm pretty sure he would have got Cruz out of there like he normally gets everybody else, because as people can see, Tank is more than just a power puncher. He
Absolutely.
is actually fundamentally sound, and that's a shout out to his coach, Coach Cal. But I hope, my biggest takeaway from the fight, of course, kudos to Tank for a spectacular knockout. If you're a fan of us, we've talked about body blows for years, so it's like
definitely I talked about it already.
Yeah, that's another check.
I talked about Hill.
Yeah, that's another check for AJ and Hill and their ongoing convo about the body shot. And also, AJ has talked to us for years about how that body shot can be delayed. Like you can be like, oh, I took it, and you might get a step or two in before it actually shuts your body down and let you know that nah, you did not take it. So so kudos to Tank. But I'm just hoping that people in the sport saw how much people enjoyed themselves. Like they brought all the stars out. One of the most streamed. So it's like, this is what you can get if you stop playing with the sport. Like y'all are athletes, right? Y'all are competitors. You should
Not even that.
wanna
You're
fight the
prize
best.
fighters. You're prize
You're
fighters.
prize fighters. And that's where I give kudos to Ryan Garcia, because he wanted to fight the best. He didn't duck like a lot of people do. They say, oh, I want to fight Tank. But when the paperwork comes, they don't really want to fight Tank. So it's like he actually made the fight.
Start putting in those requests like, hey, bro, nah, like you're not going to get that because you're not this.
Exactly.
But what I was telling the people, and I kind of want to get your perspective on it, even though I don't think like we talked about it, Tank is the cream of the crop in that class, and there's a couple guys ahead of Ryan Garcia. I believe this was the perfect matchup, because I don't think either of them facing any of the other opponents would have been able to make this a pay-per-view fight, nor make it as big of a spectacle, because I think both of their popularity outrises anybody else, but separately with another fighter, it wouldn't have been able to be this great. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I think it was the perfect fight at the perfect time. I think if we could not get the only other fight that I could have seen that would have been bigger than this was not in that weight class, and that's of course Spence Crawford.
Yep.
But I felt like this was the biggest fight to make for me. One, because I always felt like, even though that Haney is technically Haney's number one in that lightweight division,
right?
In all of the rankings, wherever you look, Ring, ESPN, if you look at the individual belts, he's number one. Tank is what we call the people's champ.
Absolutely. He doesn't have the belts, but
but I love the fact that he's the people's champ, and I love the fact that he hasn't belt chased. He's literally looked for the best opportunity for himself, which is why you become a prize fighter. But now it's coming to the point where the person with the belt has also built up an elite resume. So if Haney can knock off Loma, and especially knock him off in convincing fashion, then it has all the makings to make that another mega fight for Tank. And this time it'll be for all the belts. And so you'll get a person who I think is a little bit more technically sound than a Ryan Garcia, also a way better defensive fighter than Ryan Garcia going against Tank. And we always say styles make fights, so it'll be two technicians, because remember, Tank is a technician now. He ain't just a power puncher, but it'll be the power versus the slickster. So it's like we'll be able to see. I think that would be a great fight also, but I also don't like seeing things handed to people. So I want to see Haney beat Loma, because
absolutely,
because the way that Haney got the belts, it's almost like he people think that he kind of lucked up, but it's like you really can't luck up, because he beat the guy that actually beat the guy that had it. It wasn't like Kambosos got vacant belts. Like
we wanted to see Haney and T.O., but T.O. didn't handle business.
And T.O. actually ducked Haney. That's the funny thing about it. T.O.
It's karma.
Yep. And he's been acting funny ever since. If you look at him now, he got antics in his fight. But the funny thing is he talked a lot of stuff like he wanted to box Haney. Haney and them, they sent the paperwork. He chose not to do it. He chose Kambosos because he think this is an easy way to make title defense. Put that on my resume. And Haney already had the one other belt that was out there. So Haney was like, all right, you lost. Guess what? And he didn't have a rematch.
We're going to unify this.
Yeah. So it's like, I think that was a great move. So it's like, and we all know that Kambosos would have never fought Tank. He would have been too afraid. So, I feel like it's lined up for everything to happen when it's supposed to happen.
Absolutely. Where have you heard this before? Like, and that's not even just like everybody want to be defeated. Floyd messed the game up because now promoters want everyone to be defeated, because that's how they feel. And once again, like I also think when I like before you joined, I said this was the perfect butterfly effect match because of the popularity, and now it's going to set off a chain of events for these other fights. I also think it was the perfect person to lose because Ryan Garcia is 24 years old, and so now he has plenty of time to bounce back and show people like, hey, bro, I fought the best, and now I can work my way back up to the number one contender and get me a shot. He might not get a rematch against Tank, but he might be able to like say, look, okay, I'm up to 140 now.
Yeah.
Like who knows? Now maybe he might be able to
rematch up there.
Yeah, he might be able to get a rematch at 140, or his body composition might be better for him at 140 because he's a little bit taller, and he might be able to like not have to dehydrate himself so much to make weight. So his power might be able to carry along with his speed. So who knows? So this might be a better move for him, and he might become a champion up at 140.
Let's be real. You cannot write off a 24-year-old fighter, bro.
And
you cannot and here's the thing. He's ranked 6 at 140 because that's a bad division right now. So it's like he just based off his price. So he's ranked 6. So it's like two fights at 140. He can be in contention to grab belts. So it's and he, that's like I said before, Tank is the people's champ. So he could go back to 135, circumvent, and try to, say, hey, Haney, you know what I mean? After the Loma, he could try to sneak in there before.
Because remember, this was a catchweight fight anyway.
Exactly.
So it was like, and that's another reason why I said, like I think you and I both respect Garcia for this fight, because doing a catchweight at 136 was kind of just it's like saying, hey, look, 130,
I'm willing to do whatever to make the fight.
I'm just willing to do whatever at the fight.
I respect that.
I'm probably supposed to be fighting at 140, but let me just do what I can. And he even agreed to Tank's rehydration clauses and all of that. So it's just like, say what you want. He made the fight happen, dog.
Bro, for anybody, I will say this: Cruz went the distance, but for anybody we ever seen fight Tank, he gave it the college try,
and not even the college try.
He tried him there.
And to me, I think we've seen people fight Tank, and they like Pitbull Cruz. He fought Tank, but he also fought Tank almost like towards the end. It's just like I'm gonna be able to go the distance,
just trying to survive. Yeah.
Garcia, he was still in it. Even though he understood and he felt the power of Tank, he was timid, but he still he wasn't on his horse that fight.
Yeah, he was
still
throwing. He was letting them fly.
So
and most time when people timid, they don't. You why ain't not throwing that punches was being thrown in this fight, man.
That's how he caught the body shot.
Exactly. So
I like I said, to some people it may not have seemed like a good fight. To me, that was a really good fight, and it was 7 rounds. I felt like Tank was going to utilize his power eventually, and you saw round 5 he started going to the body, and I'm like, oh, once I seen him start going to the body, I was like, okay, it is getting close to being over. And it's just it just worked out perfect.
And if a person is considered the best, right, how much do you penalize a contender for losing to the absolute best? People are acting like he just lost to a no-name person and acting like his career is over. No, he's not. And in fact, there's so many other people who will want to make a fight with Ryan Garcia because one, they know he has a huge following. It's going to be a payday. So it's
exactly, and that's why I said I felt this is the right person to take this L because he's young, he has the following, so he will bounce back, and he has the ability. He has all the ability in the world. So he definitely will be able to bounce back.
I can't think of too many other people besides Tank that I know that could beat this dude, man.
Convincingly going into if anybody else were to jump in the ring with Ryan Garcia, even even Haney, I'm like, this is gonna be a good fight.
With Haney, but it's
I would go with Haney, but I'm not as sure as I was with Tank.
Mm-hmm.
And then also saying Haney, it's a possibility, depending on what happened with Tank and Haney and Shakur, it's a possibility that Haney might end up being at 140 and him and Ryan Garcia might fight up there.
It's a complete fact that this could be Haney's last fight at 135.
Exactly. So, I just believe, as a boxing fan, to me, that's what I want. I don't care how it ended. I got to see the people in the ring that I wanted to see in the ring against each other. So,
and I said at my crib, I said I wanted it to go 8. I said if it cost $80, I said if it go 8, I got my money's worth. But I settle for 7. Like, that's not too bad.
You know what? I
got scared when in the second round. Like, I'm like, please no. And he got up, bro. And how many we don't see people get up and still get active. Most time people get up and just hold on the rest of the time. So
and that's why I wish Hill was here, because I know we would be arguing about this, because he said Ryan Garcia chin was weak, and I'm like, nah, if his chin was weak, he wasn't getting up from that.
Yeah, facts. Ain't too many people that would have done. He really just took the first one like all right, I just didn't know what the power was.
He got careless. He got careless.
Yeah, he didn't seem rattled by like dazed there all after the first one.
Yeah. So what like I said, I'm just glad we got the fight that we wanted. People enjoyed it. It was an event, and that is what boxing should be. Yeah. That's when boxing is like one of those fights that,
and the Lakers won that night, so it made it pretty good. Made it a great night.
Boy, they was busting ass early on. I got to the spot. I text y'all. I'm like 30-9. What the fuck is going on?
Bro, they was up so much. I was scared that bro, when teams get up like that, then
let off the gas. Next thing you know, it's the fourth quarter. Why we scrambling? Like, why is it a 2-point game?
They still kind of let them come back too much in the fourth quarter, man. That's why the next game was close.
Yeah, but right when you jumped on, I was about to get into this Karen Frogers trade, and we got Hill in the comments. So I feel like it's the best time for us to at least try and touch on this trade. So Aaron Rodgers finally goes to the New York Jets. Basically a pick swap in the first round, second round pick in 2024. That's a conditional pick that can go up to a first. And also the Jets get a 5th rounder. Why am I doing this off the top of my head? I should have prepared. Jets get a 5th rounder and some other shit. But first reaction to the trade, what do you think? He'll definitely load management, man. He said he sprained his knee walking into the facility today. But I don't know. I cannot confirm nor deny that happened.
Bro, the trade was so long in the making. I never seen anybody basically say the trade, I'm going to this team, and it take almost a month and some change for the trade to happen. So I really didn't feel anything. It's like I felt like about time, I guess. But my initial thoughts about it is like 39 years old. And I just think about what the Jets were doing last year. They were on the verge with some young guys, man. And it's like, you're going to bring this old guy in here. You give up 4 picks. Yes, the first round was a swap, but you give up 4 picks. You're going to pay this salary. And it's like, is this your best opportunity to win? It's like, why run away from the young guys who had you on the cusp? And people feel like, we say it all the time, people feel like we're just a quarterback away. I feel like just a perfect. I feel like this is the perfect time for us to watch that, because that's why they did this. They feel like they were a quarterback away. So we're going to see. My prediction this year is that the Jets won't make the playoffs. So I'm sticking by that. And if they make the playoffs, I'll eat my words. But in the words of my good brother Dane Johnson from the Fours, the New York Football Jets are a cursed franchise, man. So it is what it is.
So my whole thing with this is, like you said, this trade was so long in the making. It was just like, when we got the alert, it's like, oh damn, they finally did it. But I think all three of us were in agreement that, like, hey, this shit gonna happen draft week, yo.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let the first round of the draft happen and this trade doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, cool. That wasn't a surprise. The compensation, to me, it wasn't even like like we almost started arguing in our group, like our private group chat. Whole time we just like, hey, bro, everybody got what they wanted. It wasn't like, you know what I mean, some like trade where it's just like this like mind-blowing trade where like, oh, they got this, and this. It's just like, oh, okay.
But it's like, why did that take so long? Like,
because to me, the hang up was so stupid. And that's why
you were going to give them what they wanted. You should have just gave them what they wanted, got them in there as early as possible.
Right. And for me, I'm just thinking like, I thought, because like if that's what you wanted, I was like, I thought you like for the hang up, really, I thought you would have got more. So when it came out, I'm like, damn, this kind of a win for everybody. Like,
and the reason why I think they lose is because they missed out on an opportunity this free agency. With the extension of Aaron Rodgers, they just freed up 43, I want to say 43 or either 48 million in cap space. So it's like that could have been put to work. I mean, it can clearly be put to work now, but it's like now your pickings are different. So it's like,
yeah, unless they're going
to pay early, sign the extension, create the cap space, and use it this year because he's old.
Oh shit. unless they're about to extend some of their own to try and like prolong this window, prior to, not prior, post Aaron Rodgers, and maybe they, go into the draft and try, like, since they, swap picks, so they still not losing the first round pick, and they still have, pretty much a good, portion of their picks. Maybe they can use this time to, use this cap space to re-sign their own and maybe front load some of their deals since they have some of this, cap space available. And then,
they got some young talent that they might want to keep. So that's a very good point.
Exactly. And there we go. Quentin Williams, he's due for an extension. So with this space, you can, start to front load his extension, and, maybe this is where you try and, take a shot on third round quarterback or something like that, and see if you can just,
you definitely gotta have a backup plan.
Exactly. And see if it's something that you can hit, because we obviously know that you don't believe in Zach Wilson. And I believe, this just might be the time where it's, hey, he needs a change of scenery, or you could keep him on and see what happens later on.
Like, how much tape is there? Like, I truly think we move on from guys too soon, bro.
Okay, and
I'm not saying that I'm a believer in Zach Wilson, but
that's what I was about to say.
If I drafted Zach Wilson, I owe it to myself to at least let the equity in this pick play out. Because what if he does become? It's like, dang, he's like throw him into the fire, and if you can't survive the fire, we're done with you. Like, why draft the guy if that was the case?
I know you don't believe that teams are a quarterback away, but just put yourself in a position of a team that believes that
that makes everything, that changes.
So how many chances can you give him? You know what I mean? Because even if he can be something, like a lot of times, like when we say teams move on from quarterbacks too fast, a lot of it is like, bro, y'all don't have nothing around him.
What are you supposed to do, right?
Right. But Zach Wilson had a pretty good team around him.
Young, so he needs time to figure it out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
but it's also like, does he need time to figure it out, or did they just overdraft him?
Might have, but that's on you. So here's my thing. If I'm running an organization and I'm the owner, this is what I'm telling my GMs. You draft these guys, I want to see it through unless I got full proof that they're duds, bro.
See, here's
and I know that's probably overstepping, but it's just like,
But here's the thing.
Man,
So,
I don't want to throw away money, and you guys change your minds too much. Someone got to be held accountable.
well,
And
also
you're gonna have to hold these picks at some point.
let me propose this to you. What if your GM said, you know what? I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I made a mistake. We are even or maybe it wasn't even the GM who picked him. Maybe it was the coach prior who said, "Hey, I want Zach Wilson," and then it was just like, you know what? The GM comes up, you know, he goes to Woody Johnson, like, look, we collectively made the wrong choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take accountability for that.
I respect that.
But what I'm about to do though, I'm about to go get someone who was just the back-to-back MVP, this and that, and we gonna make it work, and then we gonna continue to build for the future, you know, afterwards. So I can't necessarily be like, you know what, because we know in the NFL your windows are so short.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen teams like that aren't like. It's very rare that you have dynasties in the NFL. The Chiefs and the Patriots are very few and far between. That window closes really quickly. So you got to strike while the iron's hot. So you look at, you know, the Rams. It was like, fuck it. We just gonna go for it because we have we have the collective pieces right now.
That's why teams believe. They gave them hope.
Yeah.
It's like, see, they're a quarterback away.
But even still, it's just like you have teams like the 49ers where it's just like you think that their window is extremely large. Like it seems like, oh, the 49ers are in contention every year, but it's like not necessarily. These motherfuckers be getting injured. They'll miss the playoffs, and then next thing you know, the cap space. It just all like it happens so fast. You like football, you really have to strike while you can. And also with football, with the way that the salary cap is structured,
they're trying to move on from that quarterback too. It's like the same thing. Like you ain't seen enough of this guy, bro. And if you did, why'd you take him so early? Like
that's not even that. Why did you trade so much for that?
And so it's like, to me, that's what I'm saying. Someone got to be held accountable for that. So it's like y'all wanted Zach Wilson. What coach brought in Zach Wilson?
Who was there before? So Adam Gase.
He got to go. We could move on. But let me say this. I'm not mad that they brought in Rodgers for him. Like, if I have a young quarterback and I have an opportunity to bring in Rodgers, as much as I'm not sold on bringing in a 39-year-old. But if I could have,
I'd rather not be sold on Rodgers than not be sold on Zach Wilson.
Because now you can learn from him. If I still feel like I have a chance to develop you. But to your point, if Adam Gase got him, get him out of here. Definitely the wrong choice. I ain't sold on him.
Yeah. So I want to get to first the NBA playoffs. I want to get to Sunday. Because and we'll progress forward.
Sunday was the Phoenix. That was Phoenix and Russell on blood.
So that's not necessarily the game I want to go to. Sunday was not Phoenix, but Sunday was Sunday you had that Kings game, and then Sunday the game that I really want to get to was the Cavaliers versus the Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks blew out the Cavs.
Yes,
them boys.
Because Donovan Mitchell.
What did I say now?
That was an all-time terrible performance. He was already shooting, like he was already ass cheeks in the first half. He was terrible in the first half. Terrible in the first half. And second half comes on, he literally does not make a shot until 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 2:07, I think it was 2:07, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, it's like, Donovan, where is this 30-point, 40-point score that you are in the regular season? And Hill said it best. He the new age playoff James Harden. Because when do you show up? Like I
Well,
think you've had one. I think he's had like one or two good performances in
I
the
will
playoffs.
say James Harden played with. He had a better cast to play with when he wasn't performing. Like he was playing with Russ and KD. You should have been performing. It's like Mitchell's the guy where he's at. So it's like it's kind of harder for him. So he got a harder road. But it's a road that he chose. So
But
I
so
don't have any sympathy for him. So it's like it's kind of right there because he picked that. You know what I'm saying? Like he chose like a lot of New York wanted him, other places wanted him. He chose to go to Cleveland because he liked their young core and what they could do.
and I
And
like their young core. And I
yeah,
like what they could
but
do.
I
And
also said that I didn't like Donovan being the leader of the young core. I like the young core, but I didn't believe in them enough to have that kind of a leader because we seen him like he has all the makings to be the guy, but I just didn't see it. Yeah, I seen flashes. So it's like I don't want a guy with flashes trying to run the show. And that's what we're seeing. A guy with flashes trying to run the show. I feel like he just gotta go back to the drawing board. And I don't think it's completely a wash for him there. He can go back this year. He have all the tools and he can come out and he can really put a better run together. But I think they got to go back to the drawing board because it looked like the Knicks got their number, man.
Oh, 100%. And I remember I used to say this about Curry. I was like, I don't like Kyrie can't be your number one if you got championship aspirations. And I think Donovan Mitchell is stepping into that category. Well, not even stepping. He's proven that to be in that category as well because it's like your team is prime for you to step in and be that guy. It's actually built for you. Like you're a smaller guard and you're surrounded by great defense. You're surrounded by, a facilitator that'll let you play off the ball if you need to, but also if you can't, like if you want to be able to, be on the ball, you could do that as well. So you can play in any position that you want to free yourself up to get your shots. And he was getting shots. He was getting looks. And he just wasn't making them. It wasn't like, oh, you're the only guy and we're going to key on you and make it tough. Like I was seeing him doing floaters in the lane, tossing it off the glass, and it would not touch rim.
Just hard. I seen it. I was like, bro, that was just a bad. You smoked that. That's all I could say about it.
Like come on now,
like thing so hard. Like I can get in there and do that, and I ain't saying that I can do anything that Donovan Mitchell can do, but I can smoke a layup that bad. Like at least when I miss a layup, it hits rim and almost go in. It might spin out. You feel me?
Rim out. You know what I mean?
I said, dang, but you know what, man? I ain't trying to harp on him. Like he's a young player. Like it's almost the same thing as what I said about the young quarterbacks. Like it's growing pains. I do think that Donovan has what it takes to get over the hump, but I would like to see Donovan go somewhere and have a legitimate sidekick, not young budding players. As much as I love Garland, and I think that he's a stud, but I don't think that he's what Donovan needs to ascend to the next level. You feel me?
I get you. So I'm gonna assume you believe Jalen Brunson and the Knicks gonna close this out.
I do, man. And Jalen Brunson, man, he is.
Ooh, I bet the Mavs are kicking themselves.
No, this is one where I missed when, just like how when I said I'm not sold on the Donovan Mitchell thing, I said the same thing with the Brunson move. Like, it's not going to do anything. I was like, y'all should have got Mitchell. Like, I was like, both of them messed up. I was like, Mitchell should have went there. You know what I'm saying? Brunson should have probably went to the Cavs because he might fit better, more coachable, stuff like that. But man, this boy cooking in New York, man. So hey, shout out to him, man. Shout out to everybody was like, yo, that's Josh Hart. That's not a big move at the trade deadline for them, bro. It's really helped out.
Man, and one thing is like with basketball, yo, it's like you only have 5 people on the court at a time. Sometimes you don't need everybody to be stars on the court.
Need people to do their jobs.
You need people to know what they need to do. You need people who say, hey, if you go pass me the ball in the corner and I'm open and I'm gonna shoot it, guess what? I'm gonna knock it down. That's my job. If you need me to catch fire and like give you, a stretch where you need me to get 9 quick points in the third quarter, that's my job. And Josh Hart, he's like, look, I don't gotta be the guy, but if y'all need me to just start cooking up real quick, I got the ability. But anything else that you need, like, hey, I'll go in, I won't just be a jag out there. I give you something and I'll give you meaningful minutes.
Yeah.
That I ain't even gonna bring it up. But okay, I will bring it up. Like Jay Crowder with the Bucks. Like, hey, bro, you was complaining and you held out with the Suns saying, hey, I need to be starting over Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
Bro, you getting so you choose to go to the Bucks, and now you got DNP'd and you down in the series. Like,
and Cam Johnson out here getting posters.
Exactly. And to me, it's like Jay Crowder doesn't know his job, and then he thinks he's better than what his job was because he was supposed to be our 3-and-D guy. You come in, you defend, and you knock down some open threes. Like in the playoffs, he'd be going like 0 for 4 from 3 and don't really provide much on defense. What you here for, cuz?
I don't even really want you shooting threes like that. It's like Dylan Brooks. Like, bro, you're putting up so many threes. Like, I would have backslapped him. Like, bro, just go to the bucket. I would be more happy if you missed 6 bucket shots. Don't go over 4 from 3, Crowder, like you're a 3-point shooter.
He's so
if you're not a 3-point shooter after your second miss.
He's so streaky. Crowder is so streaky, and that's his problem. Like he got confidence. He gonna pull the motherfucker.
Oh, and he can hit him. I know that, but this is my thing as a coach. If that's not what your specialty is, which is not for Crowder, because his specialty is 3-and-D. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're streaky, which means you get two shots, bro. And if you miss both of those, now I want you to get in the paint, bro. And you got to give me some paint buckets before you continue to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So no, and it goes the same thing for Dylan Brooks. Like, you're supposed to be a 3-and-D guy, but bro, you're jacking 6 in a row and you haven't hit any, and you're still pulling because it looks cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, so speaking of Dylan Brooks, I heard Kendrick Perkins say the most disrespectful shit about Dylan Brooks because he said, I don't understand what Dylan Brooks is doing. Dylan Brooks is out here on a team that is undermanned, missing their star, and he's talking trash.
Yeah, that's dumb.
To LeBron James. He said Dylan Brooks must have been in the same classroom from K through 12 where he was trying to put triangles in circles and circles and triangles. And I'm like, hey, dog, you can't say that on national TV.
Perk getting better, man.
Hey, bro, that's probably some of the funniest shit I've heard one of them talking heads say, bro. That shit was funny. And it's low-key kind of true. And another reason why now I do not respect Dylan Brooks, you throwing rocks and hiding your hand.
You know, I hate that.
Don't be out here trying to talk talking about, oh, I poked the bear. Oh, he's washed. I don't respect nobody till they give me 40.
Yeah, then you don't want to talk to the media.
Then you don't want to talk to the media? No. Yeah. Stand on business. If you talk it, answer it. Bro, it's sports. You gonna take an L one of these days.
Everybody does.
Like everybody.
So LMB was posterized by Cam Johnson.
Bro, it happens.
They won that game. He didn't give a damn, bro. He got back down and cooked up.
Exactly. And so sometimes, hey, it happens. And hey, if you're not ready to punch outside your weight class, shut the fuck up.
But it's funny because like that little stare down on Sunday, because you want to talk about, oh no, this is Saturday night. Brian runs over to him, and it's like that's the night of the fight, right? So Brian runs over to him, and he has it's like the stare down before the fight, and Brooks breaks, bro. Like he broke his spirit. Dylan Brooks was looking down at Brian's shoes, dog. He was scared to make eye contact.
he was like, "Oh shit!" Like he's over here. He's over here. And like, bro, what are you doing? Like, say something. You was talking all that shit. You be talking all that shit. He can't, bro. That's like basically you be talking on the net.
Yeah.
That's this internet generation.
Facts,
You
man.
talking. Then when somebody pull up on you and they
And
run
bro,
down on you,
he from
face
the
to
he
face.
pulled up on him and said, say it now, bro. This pregame so that we can settle it on the court.
Right. Like I want to make sure I hear it now.
Yeah.
So when we on the court, we can make sure that it's all out there. I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth to the horse got to say it to the bear now.
Yeah, facts.
And he ain't say that shit.
Yeah, he ain't
And
want
now,
to,
bro. And now, bro, if you supposed to be the heart and soul, you a whole hoe.
Bro, rumor has it, bro. They don't like
They getting rid of him.
Yeah.
You're more trouble than your word.
I would too if you missed that many damn threes, bro, without getting a layup or something. Like it was Saturday night, bro.
Not even that. I would too if you don't provide no value. Like say what you want. Say what you want about
heat and no value.
Say what you want about Draymond Green. Say what you want about his
job.
Say what you want about his triple singles. Draymond Green has he's been serving a purpose for a championship team for some years. Dylan Brooks, bro, you just got here and you ain't did shit. That's why it's like, hey, bro, you was just talking shit to Draymond and Draymond made a fool out of you. Now you talking shit to LeBron, the motherfucker who leads all NBA history in points. Come on, dog. Like, what are you what are we even doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So the Lakers got this?
Yeah, I think so, man. It's 3-1. I feel like the Lakers going to close up shop, man. Send them home. And the funny thing is, I was saying this to somebody. Remember earlier this year when Ja got interviewed and he said,
I ain't worried about nobody in the West.
And here's the thing. He said that at the time when Phoenix, Sacramento, and Denver were all seated higher than him. So it's like, one, you weren't even in the top seed when you said that. So one, you're disrespecting the seeds that are in front of you. Two, you might not even get to see those seeds, bro. You're gonna lose to his team that was in the play-in. But you ain't worried about the West. And this is my take on Memphis, bro. They got a lot of talent on that team. Even when they can win when Ja's gone and they can just bounce back and erase deficits, but they just got a lot of growing up to do, man.
Yeah, bro. I do not know who that team doesn't have. They're not smart. And then to me, Ja comes back from being hurt. What, he gave him 40 points and they still lost.
Mm-hmm.
To me, when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, this series is over.
Facts.
Over. Because it's like, hey, look, man, at the end of the day, if your best player is giving you 40 off injury, that's supposed to give you that spark and give you what you need, this, and that. It's like, nah. The team does play really well when they don't have Ja, which is kind of confusing to me.
It is kind of confusing.
But it also shows the talent level that this team has. But this team is
bang, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah, but this team's just not smart, and they just get in their way.
Desmond Bane is a problem, bro.
Yeah, motherfucking can shoot too, dog.
And he now can get to the rack looking unstoppable when he want to get to the rack. So it's like, if you can shoot and get to the rack, that's a scary thing. Because when we was trying to close out, bro, he was getting to the rack.
He was holding it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of getting to the rack, what the fuck do Jimmy Butler be on?
Bro, it's like what they said to him. Is playoff Jimmy a thing? He's like, nah, I just be hooping, man. And it's like what we talked about in the group, bro. Because of
your daddy's son.
Yeah, because of his genetics, he has the ability whenever he's in a heightened competitive situation, he can tap into GOAT status. And We've seen it before, and last night we seen it again. Now, this is what I'm gonna say about this, man. I've seen a lot of basketball, but last night watching that game, I felt like a kid, man. And you know why I felt like a kid? Because it felt like I was watching Jordan, bro. He was doing it all over the floor, like the mid-range elbow jumpers, floaters, three-pointers, wild layups, dunk, the emphatic dunk.
Seeing Jimmy Butler just take a walk-up three and drain it. I'm like,
Yeah, I
oh,
said, bro.
shit.
I
was like, oh, it's over. It's over.
He in GOAT mode, bro.
Yeah,
So
he turned in. He got it. he got his bread zone. He was like, hey, it's game time, dog. You know what I mean? I took that personally. Look, hey, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker different. Hey, bro, do you know if playoff Jimmy was playoff Jimmy the whole season?
Yeah,
he might be like top 3 in the game.
He definitely might be top 3, bro. But I think it comes out. It got to be a super competitive situation, bro.
Yeah, no, it's not even a super competitive situation. It's just got to be like, look,
pressure.
This is like, I think Jimmy Butler sees it like, all right, everybody is, involved. We doing our thing and stuff like that. And, we winning as a collective and we winning as a team. Playoff time, Jimmy be like, all right, boys, hop on, get on my back. I got us.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it is. Because it's just like, let's not forget, Jimmy Butler is a defender too. So it's like, he's like, hey, all right, come on. It's time now. Let y'all guys get in rhythm and do what y'all need to do to feel incorporated. But now it's time to win some shit. Like, remember Bubble Jimmy?
Yeah.
That motherfucker was cold.
Yeah, man. Hey. Bro. Last night, bro.
He got Michael's secret stuff in his DNA. Hell, you talking about?
And we talking about playoff games. And so it wasn't a game 7 or nothing, but 56 in a playoff game. And I want to say, bro, there was a point where I feel like he scored 20 straight. I'm like, bro, like, it was like a 20-6 run, all him.
He's different, dog. He's different.
I'll say that whatever the score was in the first quarter, I feel like the team had 6. Jimmy had the rest, bro.
Yeah. He one of them. He's definitely one of them. So, do we need to talk about Denver and Milwaukee?
You said Denver and Milwaukee?
Yeah. I mean, Denver and Minnesota.
No, we don't. But that was a hell of a I mean, Anthony Edwards said that they were not going to get swept. He put that on everything. And boy, he was ready to die about that. So that's why Hill's favorite.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, he one of mine too, because I'm one of those people. If you are real and you are authentically you always gonna be good in my book. And Anthony Edwards from his post games and all of that is always him. And that's one of the reasons why I'd be so like, I wish Lamar Jackson didn't go to the Ravens, because I love Lamar Jackson, because they never could get him to be the cookie cutter quarterback. He's always like, hey, bro, I'm from Florida, dog. Like, I'm always gonna be, I'm gonna be me. And that's what I like about Ant. Ant is just always him. And he at the end of the game, guess what? He said, I'm him. He did it. And what's so frustrating with Ant being him, it's like, bro, why the fuck do Cat be playing like he's Ant size but soft? Like, bro, be big, please.
And I see him play big sometimes, but it's just like, bro, these new age perimeter people, it's the new age style of basketball, bro. I don't think they feel like it's soft. They just want to be finesse players, bro. Steph has made it look so good that they just want to be out there, bro. So they don't
for the bigs. This is Dirk's fault, because they realize, hey,
it's definitely Dirk's fault.
We can be out here. We can do some pirouettes here from the elbow. We can shoot these threes.
And
you know what I mean?
And the
Come
coaches
off the
too,
back
man.
Foot.
Gilbert Arenas said recently, like, he went to like NBA practice, and he said it's nowhere. It's completely different from when he played, and he said it's pretty much guys working with their coaches, working on individual drills most of the whole time. So it's like you're not really banging. Like it's like there used to be a time like when your one squad and your two squad, they went at it at practice. And that's how people got better.
Exactly.
Like Rod Strickland used to talk about like his battles in practice, like, and said those are some of his best matchups. Scotty used to be on the B, leading the B team when Michael was leading the A team. He used to mix and match where we're picking players, like the two best players, pick players, and we're gonna go at it in practice. That's gonna make us better. So it's like, it's if you want Cat to be tougher, that's on the coaches. That's on the coach fault. It's almost like Shaq said it.
It's not on the coaches. You want to know how I know it's not on the coaches? Because Cat don't want to. Jimmy Butler literally got traded because he was like, "Hey, yo, all y'all motherfuckers soft.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play
but
with the reserves, and I'm gonna whoop y'all ass."
Why you keep letting soft people go? Here's the thing. Shaq said what I said. But he said like DeAndre Ayton, one, he's playing good this series, right? But it's like for big men, you gotta keep him in just every quarter, draw up 2 or 3 plays. So, and I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm saying like if you do that same thing for Cat, right? And those are low block plays where he has to be physical, then he starts to
he won't. No, he won't. No, he won't.
I'm talking about Aiden. I'm talking about
Cat. I'm talking about Cat.
Like if
Cat
coach calls
Cat wants to be the Cat wants to be. Cat says he's the best shooting big man.
No,
ever.
he do say that.
And you know why he say that? Because he don't want to play in the blocks. Because he wants to be able to shoot.
But look, it's and he ain't the only one. I'm watching the league, and even when I watch my team, I'm screaming, "Get on the block, bro!" It's like the new age big is allergic to the block, bro. And it goes back to what we just said. It's Dirk and Steph's fault, bro. They made being on the perimeter look so good that nobody wants to go on the block anymore. And it's like now when they go on the block, they get hurt, bro.
It's ridiculous to me.
It's ridiculous, bro.
But speaking of like they want to be on the block, like we can go ahead and get to the Suns and Ayton. Because you say Shaq says Ayton is playing good.
Well, he said this series. He didn't say he was playing great or nothing. So don't try to take that and run with that, man. Just said he's playing well, man.
So I don't know. Okay, maybe he's playing good. Maybe I don't necessarily agree because what the things that Ayton should be doing, he's not doing. Like we talk about how Cat want to shoot threes and doesn't want to bang and stuff like that. DeAndre Ayton plays the same way, but he don't shoot threes. So it's even more frustrating because it's like, yes, on those times where it's like, you know what? He'll catch the ball at the high post, or he'll catch the ball, at the elbow and drive to the free throw line. He never gets down there and bangs and gets a high percentage shot. He does those floaters every single time.
We just talked about these guys don't do that, bro.
But that's my point. Like,
but that doesn't mean he ain't playing well if he scores by shooting jumpers. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is
scoring efficiently. That's how
that's the thing, though. He don't really be scoring efficiently.
This series he has been.
But my thing with Ayton, and no, I'm not looking at the whole year because I'm also gonna get to another thing that pisses me off about Ayton. And when you look at the box scores, once again, if you look at the box scores, you're like, oh damn, Ayton had a good job. Why are you hating, AJ? No, like, yeah, you know what? Ayton had 10 rebounds, but I saw 7 offensive rebounds go off his hands, and Russell Westbrook didn't pick the, and it killed the possession. He got hands for feet,
bro.
He
look at everybody and see them doing that, bro. He's not the only one messing rebounds.
The frequency of DeAndre Ayton being big and missing rebounds, bro, it's the most infuriating shit as like that you can.
But as you're saying that, his last game, he's no matter how you slice this, AJ, 7 and 13 is efficient, bro. That's over 50% from the floor. That's 15 points, 13 boards, bro. To Shaq's point.
But what
That
I'm
is
but
good.
Kenny,
Well, and
guess
then-
what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me finish. This is on a team where you have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and CP3. Anybody that's outside of those three names that's putting up 15 points is doing a good job.
You're
It's-
wrong. That's where you're wrong because you can't say
Bro.
anybody outside of those three because CP3 is 97 years
They're
old.
not
He's
even
not going to
going
put
up
up 15
plays.
points.
They're
You
not
need
going up plays, bro. CP3
DeAndre
in the
Ayton.
same game has 19 points, bro.
That was it. That was the best game that he's had so
But
far.
my point is,
He's-
Aiden is
Chris Paul
consistently doing his job.
Chris Paul is not the big three.
You can't blame him
Chris
for that.
Paul is not the big three. The big three is DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker.
Y'all don't draw
and
plays
KD.
for that. Even Shaq said that. So it's like,
No,
you can't be a
what
big
do you
three
mean we don't draw
if we
plays
don't-
for him?
if
He
we
runs
don't draw
he runs the
plays
pick and roll with Chris Paul all the time.
Bro, but the pick and roll is for the guard. And so it's like you're the secondary option if you're the picker. You know
No,
that.
because he's always gonna crash. But he don't do that because he gets and by you telling me he's 7 for 13, yes,
Bro,
that look,
so
hold
what
on.
I'm
Kenny,
saying is
let
that
me get this
you're
point.
not
Hold on,
happy
wait.
with the
Let me get this off.
He's efficient though.
When you say 7 for 13, he's efficient. Yes,
That's
efficient.
over 50%.
Like
from the field.
in the box score, that looks efficient. But
That
if he
is
actually
efficient.
takes his ass inside the restricted area, he can go 10 for 13 because he's
But
taking
you're
higher
saying
percentage
that's
shots.
hypothetical, bro.
I'm not. That's not
hypothetical.
hypothetical. If he gets in the paint, he's going to score at
Bro,
an even more efficient
He
clip.
took 13 shots, made 7. That's over 50% from the field.
But
in the NBA
but
playoffs.
if he actually tries to dunk the ball, guess what?
That's hypothetical. Once
No,
again,
it's not.
I'm just talking about
Dunk,
what he
if you
did, bro.
dunk the
Chris
shit,
Paul
it's-
just made 5 threes. What are we talking about if
No,
he did this,
because guess what? The highest percentage shot on the court is a fucking dunk.
bro?
Dunk
And
it.
what did we just say about these bigs? They don't go on the block. So
And that's the problem. That's what I'm saying.
So it goes back to my point. What I'm hearing you say is that you're just not happy with his style of play. Does not mean that what Shaq said is not true because he has been efficient, bro. There's no way that you could tell me that 50% from the field is not efficient, bro. I'm sorry.
Yes, I can.
You cannot, bro.
Yes, I can.
You cannot.
For
That's
a
just you
7-footer?
hating, bro.
No,
if I'm gonna call a spade, that is AJ hating, bro.
No, it's not.
Yes, he can get more. Yes, he could probably drop 30, but he didn't take a lot of shots, so he's not hurting the team. You feel what I'm saying?
When you are that damn big,
That don't have nothing to do with
50,
nothing, bro.
no, because you know why? Because the efficiency to me for someone over 7 foot at 50% is different than
He's
someone
going far away from the basket.
Exactly, and that's what I'm
So
saying.
that
You
is
don't
efficient,
get,
bro.
but
That's more difficult.
But when you don't make threes, when you don't shoot
get it, bro.
threes,
You
stop
don't- you
doing
don't
jump
like it.
shots. Get your ass in the paint.
We
Why-
get it, man.
DeAndre Jordan, his efficiency from the field goal, from the floor, he'd be like, I think his career, he's like 67%.
Bro, he's
You know why?
dunking. We're
Because
talking
he's
about a
in the
shooter.
paint. Exactly.
What does that
You're
have
not
to do with
DeAndre
Ayton,
Ayton,
bro?
you're not a shooter. If you
What
was a
does that
shooter,
have
you'd be
to
making
do?
threes.
What is
Get
the-
your ass in the
What,
paint.
what does he have to do with DeAndre Ayton, bro?
What he has to do with DeAndre Ayton, we got shooters.
we done
Get
went
your ass.
left, man.
We got shooters. We
Bro.
don't need you to shoot. Be 7 foot.
He's over 50%. You can't tell him what he need to do, bro. If he's
Yes,
doing his
I
job.
can. Stop being soft. Go
Bro.
bang. Go hit somebody. Be 7 foot.
In a
That's
win.
why we
So-
got you.
So you mad that he doing this in a win, bro? So you want him to get out of his game? When y'all lose, then what?
No, because this is
Then
I'm
you're
not
gonna blame
just
him
like I did last year in that Pelican series. I'm not mad because we doing it in a win. I'm mad because I know we about to play better teams. So as we get better,
And he's gonna
this
do his
shit ain't
job.
gonna cut it.
Even if you're telling me if he's efficient when y'all play a better team and y'all lose, that's on him because he's not dunking.
Because he could be, instead of being 50%, he could be 70%. That's 5 more, 6 more, 7 more points. And
Bro,
guess what? Hold on,
name
wait,
one person in the history of the game that has been 70%.
Cannon. And this is my next point. Another thing that I hate about DeAndre Ayton.
That's not a good point, bro.
No, yes, it is.
You
Another
just
thing that
said
I hate.
70%.
Another thing that I hate about DeAndre Ayton not playing in the paint, he don't go to the free throw line. You know how many easy buckets he would get if he bangs and goes up instead of doing a floater like a guard? You can get 5 extra points. You can get 6 extra points. You can go to the line.
What you want to have? All the points?
No, I don't want him to have more points. I want him to get fouled and actually try. Stop being a bitch.
Get all the points, Aiden, and then AJ will still be.
Thank you.
But I don't say he ain't efficient. When have I ever said he ain't efficient, Hill? Put that in there, and we'll wait on that.
Okay, so just because he's efficient don't mean just because he's efficient don't mean he's maximizing his potential,
bro. I never said anything about him. I said he's doing it.
But that's what I'm talking about. You're talking about, you're mad in the win. I want him to maximize his potential.
If you rewind this tape, we started this about what Shaq said, him being efficient in this series.
And I said I don't care about him being efficient. He could be
you've already said once that 7 out of 13 is not efficient. Being better has nothing to do with efficiency, bro.
Yes, it does. It means you're more efficient. It does have like being 50%
from the field, bro. That's the wildest thing that I've heard. 70% from the field, and he's not even AD. AD ain't never been 70% from the field.
DeAndre Jordan is a 67 career field from the field.
He don't shoot at all.
And DeAndre Ayton shouldn't. If you only 50%, take your ass to the cup.
And bro,
you want to know why?
Plays, you want to know why he's going to have a better career than DeAndre Jordan, bro.
How?
He is, bro.
No, he's not. Right. No way, DeAndre Ayton.
Bro, he just dunks, bro. That's all he did. Like that's gonna be his legacy, bro.
Okay, but he got a better career than DeAndre Ayton.
You just don't like him, bro.
That's not true. That's not true. How is it that I don't like him when I want better for him?
He got potential to get chips, bro. Did your boy get chips? With his 67%, did his dunking lead to winning?
Did
it lead to winning, bro?
But here's the thing.
I rest my case, man. We can go on. What you got next?
You can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3Man Weave _ on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow us. You can catch us in the 3Man Weave Facebook group. Search 3Man Weave group. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button.
Put that up there. Never question his effectiveness or efficiency. I just said get down on the block, just like you want Ayton down on the block, but these bigs don't go down there.
Okay, but
the block is done.
That don't mean I should be okay with it.
I didn't say you have to be okay with it, but you said that he wasn't. You said that 7 of 13 was not efficient.
I never said that. I said he could be even
we gonna
more
pull that one out.
efficient.
You definitely said that one. You definitely said that one.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, he's not efficient enough for someone who can't shoot threes. Shout out to the fours. And we out.
Thank y'all as always, man. They asked him what's in your blue cup, AJ.
Don't even worry about it.